Okay, there it goes. Hold on. I sound low. There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. My mic was acting up. And I found out actually I turned it off on the actual headphone itself, so that's why it wasn't working. But, yeah, this is gonna be kind of a really short, live, only because I just wanted to give out some informations, regarding me personally and what's gonna be going on forward. With that, I didn't really feel the need or wasn't really up to having my model up. Um, if anyone wants to come by and, you know, maybe have any questions or anything in the stream, I'll look out for that. But, I did post a Google Doc over on my Twitter. I will post it over on my Discord and the link for it in my YouTube as well. Basically, kind of just explaining what's been kind of going on the past year. Me explaining what happened with my previous job that I lost. Kind of the scare and the struggle I had with that. And how I eventually found my current position now. And, happy enough. I mean, I kept updates kind of about that, that I was able to find something. It was only supposed to be seasonal, but, it worked out better because pretty much towards the end of the, holiday season, I believed I wasn't gonna have anything afterwards and I hadn't found anything, but luckily, more than half of their workers left. Others went off to go back to school for their education, or literally this was just a seasonal position for them. They weren't thinking about staying long term, so with that they were very understaffed. So they were like, oh no, please, if you do want to stay, please, we do need all the help we need. So that's kind of what was going on with me with that. But I'm gonna explain this in the doc that even though I was grateful for that, it wasn't an immediate fit. It didn't completely replace what the type of money I was bringing in from previously. I was literally maybe even making not even half a month of what I was bringing in monthly with my last job. And the thing is, it wasn't like I was just sitting on my hands not finding something. I've been applying to places. I've been, trying to find something, anything else, even if it was another part-time position or something full-time. And out of all the applications I've done, and especially with everything going on, there's so many scams, so many fake job listings out there that you think maybe you got something and it turns out to be a total scam, and then whoever it was now has access to all your stuff. That almost happened to me in the very beginning of me job hunting. I applied to somewhere, thought it was legit. They sent me information and everything. Then when I explained the situation to my family, they were like, "We don't know. This sounds kind of really fishy. Kind of see what else they do. What else you can say. Kind of keep an eye on that." And yeah, it ended up being a scam. Well, luckily my bank was able to catch up on it. Plus, I had notified them as well. Hey, there might be something coming in from a job I was trying to do, but from my understanding, this could be a scam. And they were like, yeah, it's not going through. This check that they sent you is not real, pretty much. So they were kind of already on top of it. They were plus with everything going on, they had bumped up their security and whatnot. So now accounts can be alerted immediately for stuff like that. And just yeah, honestly, on my hands I can count the number of interviews I've had, and none of them have gone the way I wanted. One I went to was my very first job I went to, because I saw they were still hiring, but I guess with the position they went with, they found someone a bit more qualified for that, because they were trying to find someone to be like an assistant managers, wanted someone who had that type of experience, and someone who was going to be willing to, be the type of person who could open or close, pretty much. And I guess they found someone who basically already had that type of, work experience. Because I was like a shift leader at one of my positions, but at most I was maybe closing, and that was pretty much it. I wasn't opening and closing, but I was like, I had a key, and it was like very small place. So, like, this is different. Like, that one was different. Basically, you're opening, closing, counting the monies and everything for like a big old, like, not a big department store, but pretty much like a big old, like, clothing store, pretty much. The other one, I've said this out like a few times in the past. One was like a remote job, was actually gonna be pretty good. It was like Monday through Friday, from this time to this time. I was thinking, if I do this, I can also do my pretty much the seasonal position that I do now have like part time. I'll just have to like let them know like, hey, like I have a new job now. These are my hours, so these are pretty much like the days or the hours I can work. But we did the interview. They said they liked me. They were like, okay, we just need 48 to 72 hours to like let you know. Literally like a month went by, 2 months went by, never heard anything from them again. Checked my email, checked my phone to see if any messages went through, because they had originally contacted me through email, but I checked email, nothing from them ever popped up. So that was a total bust, and I was just like, what the hell? Oh, what, like didn't even send me like a message to be like, oh, maybe they went with someone else, like other jobs had done, but they just didn't. So I was like, that's insane. And from there, I've just been trying to find something, anything that could help bring in extra money. And this is also one of the things I explained or talked about in the doc, was at the time when I was still doing that, and nothing was really fully going through. I still had the family car at the moment, and with that, was trying to make it work with where I would do my part-time position, because which now is kind of like a part-time position, and the days I had off, I would go out and I would do Uber for like 3, 4, maybe sometimes even 5 hours. And that helped out a lot, actually. We use that money to get like groceries, pay gas, maybe sometimes it would help cover a bill or two. But then shit hit the fan once 2025 started hitting. Cause one, by where I'm staying at currently went up in rent more, with already everything going on. So that was even more of a yikes. We were still figuring stuff out, trying to figure stuff out. It was slowly working out. And then last month we had lost the car. Because basically it was either between making the payment and that would hold us off for a month, or covering the rent. And we decided to do that. Literally, and then the next day they came for the car. So, and then that just put even more dent in our already strained finances, because now without a car, now me and my brother, who now have like outside jobs, needed to find some way of transportation. So now that's where the Uber and Lyfts were coming in. And now we are spending about like $200 a week just to do Ubers and Lyfts. I'm lucky if it's lower than that, because my job is very, I mean, I explained the situation to them. So before, I used to only ever go in for like maybe 3, 4 hours at most. But after explaining like, hey, I kind of don't have my car at the moment, I'm now taking Ubers and Lyfts. They've been giving me like longer hours. Today was like a 4.5 hour, almost 5 hour shift. Not tomorrow, I'm off tomorrow. Wednesday is a 5 hour shift. It's like somewhere in the afternoon to all the way to closing. Then Thursday is like a 4 hour shift, like somewhere late to like close pretty much. And then I'm off the rest of the week. So they've been like giving me longer days, but the only thing is with that is I'm still, coming out of pocket to pay Uber and Lyfts, and they hired like 3 new people, so they don't need me as much as they did before. And I guess now with the car situation, they're trying not to constantly put me for extra days, because again, that's gonna come out of my pocket. So, and my brother has a full-time position, so he has to be there 5 days a week, so that's a lot of money per day for like the 5 days he needs to be there. And it's just it's really gotten really bad to the point that I come home. We had to pay our internet because if not, they were gonna turn it off. So I was like, hey, but we had like pretty much like the end of the day to do it before they like we pretty much will wake up and it'll be gone. Then my family said, oh, actually we might have an even bigger situation going on, and pretty much stated that yeah, um, because we paid our renter or like pretty much who we're renting the place from, we the hell? Hold on, I was checking my phone and then some weird thing came up. But pretty much we were checking that and they pretty much explained to me like, yeah, person finally got in contact with them after not saying anything this whole month because we um we had to pay our rent. We paid as much as we possibly could at the moment, pretty much all the money we had, even to the point that we were kind of struggling to what we were gonna do food wise because like it's stuff that's gotten like really bad. It's gotten to the point that there's next to no food in the house. Anything we do have to order now, we're using like delivery apps to either order food or get groceries that could possibly last us like the week. And there are times we went like weeks without any like real food in the house. We were doing what we could to get like water, and so we had like water and try to get like stuff that we can make food so that could last us days. And but it and yeah, it's a lot. A lot's been going on, and with that, pretty much the bad news is that we were able to cover like at least like 90% of the rent we still owed our renter like $900. Mind you, it's not like we owe them $900. Like that's kind of much what we owe them. We've paid them every single month. There were times we were like late, but we always paid it when we could. Paid the full month and paid like the rent late fee. And this was like really kind of the only month we've been like really behind. And we know we still owe them like an extra like $900. And we're trying to figure out a way to get that to them and then figure out next month's rent. When they contacted my family when I was out, and they informed me like, yeah, pretty much the renter is saying that they want us out by the end of the month, pretty much. That they want us gone by the 30th. So my family and I discussed it. We are trying to see what legal actions or what things we could do, because we're like, wait a minute. Like, you can't just, give us like a 5-day notice and expect us to be gone. That's not how that works. Like, I know at most you need to give people like at least like a good like month, like a 30-day notice. Being like, yeah, well, like you need to be off the premises by like the end of next month or something. Not, oh, you need to be gone by like the next 5 days. So we are going to inform them like what are we trying to do, what can we do, but basically that where like basically we are in the process of being like, yeah, looks like they're not really willing to work with us. I'm sure 9 out of 10 it's what other realtors are doing for people who are struggling, not caring about the situation that the person is possibly in and what situation they could possibly be in. Now that they don't have the resident, that they are just gonna slap up the place real quick and immediately try to up the rent, because one, they already upped up the rent by an extra $200, so I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to up it even more, $200, which is insane to me, because when I was informed that before we were here, they were going on damn near almost half a year, I think even longer than that, before they had found us to rent the place. So they already have their own place, so they were just losing out on money paying for both places. So I mean, but at the end of the day, this is their place. It's not something we personally owned. And with everything just going on, we figured, you know what, we're gonna inform them what our situation is, what's gonna happen, and that, yeah, no, we are not gonna apply to the whole being out by the end of the week when you haven't said anything and haven't given us any other notice since before literally like today. So, or yesterday in this case. So, gonna be like, yeah, if you got a problem, we can, take this to the authorities, get the law involved. And but basically, we've done like researches and oh, I'm so sorry. I wish I could help. God knows I do. I pray for you and your family. Find fortune soon. God bless and much love. No, thank you, cause honestly, it's cause we're all trying to stay as much positive as we possibly can. Cause we've all been struggling to find some way to make this work, and it's basically just gone to the point that we can't make it work. And it's not like we're doing this like deliberately. It's not like, oh, it's been like months and we haven't paid rent, we've just been ignoring them. It's like, no, basically at the point it's where like damn near everything has been threatened to been turned off, has been turned off. Like my phone, we literally at one point we had to decide either paying our phone bills or having food in the house. And so of course, we decided to go with having the food in the house. So literally my phone service has been off for the past like month, I think, at this point. Or like the beginning of the month, because there's like nothing we could do. And literally the internet was almost threatened to have that turned off as well. We have scheduled something for like the water to go. We already covered light, but at one point we like woke up and like the light was off because we were like behind like $200. Like it's just insane how insane all the prices are, but people aren't able to make enough money to cover it without having to work like 2 or 3 jobs. Like almost everyone I know at this point is working like 2 jobs. People either have like 2 part-time jobs, sometimes even 3, or people have full-time jobs and are still having to work part-time positions. And it's like, it's insane. But another more insane thing is the fact that it's damn near been a year. I've been applying to places left and right, and almost everyone has either told me that they're going with someone more qualified when I have the qualifications that they talked about. Because, hello, I read what their requirements are. So why are you telling me that I don't have the requirements you're looking for? You went for someone more qualified. How more qualified can someone be? And if they've been like doing something for years, like come on now. Like I don't know what's up with these companies, but I mean, if I could, I would love to just start my own business, start something that could just, I know that's definitely just gonna start making me money by like tomorrow, but I know that's not how that works. But yeah, I mean, the Google Doc I posted pretty much kind of goes more into depth of just everything I've been, me and my family has been just pretty much going through since last year. Everything we've tried to make the situation work, trying to find new positions, people not responding, or if they do respond, they contact you back like a month or two later saying that they went with someone else. So you just wasted your time doing all of that. And it's just, I don't understand. It really, ever since like last year, everything's just been hitting the fan. Nothing has worked out. It's like everything's trying to like work against me and my family, and it's like we're not evil people. Like you would think this would stop happening to people who deserved it, people who are out here just doing the most. It's like, no, me and my family, we keep to ourselves. We hardly go out. I mean, hell, even when we had the car, we weren't going out partying, causing a scene, making the shop. No, most of the time that car was right there in the yard, in the parking spot it was supposed to, and the only time it was ever gone was if I was at work, picking someone else up from work, or running groceries, and then doing Uber when I was still doing Uber. Other than that, we were home. We were home minding our business, watching TV, streaming, playing games. Like, but it's just, I don't understand, like, how horrible this world is just getting to the point that everyday people just trying to make a living are now struggling to cover their rents. And I feel, I say like it's just me, but honestly, I've heard it's been other people. Other people are struggling to cover their daily expenses. Like, my aunt is a teacher, and she was telling us about like how they're getting ready, that summer's coming up, school's gonna be out, so now they have to find something that's gonna cover them for like the 3 months they're gonna be out. Uh, may I ask how much you usually spend a month? Um, like I don't have an exact number, but especially since our rent went up since the beginning of the year, pretty much. It's been like maybe because also the thing is with our rent it doesn't cover the utilities, so we're still having to come out of pocket to pay the water, the light. So for whatever reason the sewer is a separate thing from the water, then we gotta pay the internet, and then and that's when we still had the car payments and the insurance, and just I'd say at most maybe, hold on, because if I like include what this, like that, and then let's say light was at most it's like an average like 300. Oh, I was like, what the hell? Why does it say that? I put times. Ha, I wish. And then I say water's like 120. And there's like four of us. Sewer it's like 75. Internet's like 100. Car payment was like damn near 400. Insurance was like 300. Um, what else did I miss? And then if you're counting like groceries every week, that's what, especially with grocery prices, that's like what, 200. So estimate around like 5 to 6K. I'm assuming. Yeah. I'm sure I'm missing some things, but it's around like over 4,000. So it's probably like around like 4 to 6,000, depending on if it was like a good month, if maybe something was lower, something was cheaper, maybe I don't know if someone somewhere was giving out a discount, but we were able to find maybe things on cheap. But I would say that's pretty much like a good. Uh, I just realized my Twitch chat isn't popping up. Did I turn it off by accident? Hold on. Um, no, it's still there. That's weird. I would say that's about the amount. I was calculating it's around like 4,200, like 4,300, but I'm sure that's probably on like a good day, a good month, I should say. I think at most it probably is around like the 5 or 6K a month, which is insane to me. And it's like this is not some luxury house we're in. This is a simple 3 bedroom, 2 bath, in a somewhat okay neighborhood, like where the houses are pretty fine, but there is a lot of homeless people. Literally, if you go onto like the main road, there's literally nothing but a bunch of homeless people, um, broken down, beat up buildings, and just it's a lot going on. So like the community itself, or the houses, is kind of okay, but like once you step out, it's literally nothing but like homeless people, people on drugs, and just it pretty much is very unsafe. And that's like another thing that we were kind of okay with, which is kind of sad to say, because you shouldn't be okay with, oh well, I'm not really. I'm assuming you live in Cali, like California? No, unfortunately. I think it'd be higher if I was. No, I'm in Florida. Oh shit, I think my phone died. Thought I was charging it. No, I'm in Florida. Yeah, which is crazy, because, yeah, no, Florida prices have just gone up. Like, a ridiculous amount. It's insane. I don't know why my YouTube ones don't go away. Oh, wrong one. That's weird. I'll put it back if you say something. But, yeah. Um, in the doc, yeah, I kind of just went more into depth and like what's been happening, how we've been dealing things, what it's come to this point, and now that it's gone to the point that now we basically have to leave our where we're living at the moment and try to find somewhere because one, they were trying to get us to leave by the end of the week, and we're like, no. If we look up any laws, um, I I live in Florida before, but it was a rural area called Crystal River, so the prices are chill there. Okay, I think I've heard of that, but I mean, I live in like a rural area as well, but yeah, I'm not near like any major cities, so it's just that I don't know, like ever since COVID hit, nothing has been back to how it was. Everything has just skyrocketed in prices. Rent is ridiculous. Groceries is ridiculous. Like you, at this point, people are paying like $300 a week just to have like a week's full of groceries. It's insane. Everything has gone up: lights, water, internet, electricity, phones, car payments, insurance. Everything's just like rapidly. Even just now, when I was looking for places that we could, kind of move into as soon as possible, um, like a lot of them were, even for like a decent place, was wanting like $3,000, and it's like, excuse me, for just like a normal house that's probably not like it's not like a newly built house, up to date, with everything. It's like no, like kind of like your basic house that you could find anywhere that's maybe been kept up. Um, but then they're charging you that, but then they're not covering like any of the utilities. So you need to come up with that, and then still find a way to cover your water, your light, your your internet, because you can't do anything without internet nowadays. Everything needs some type of Wi-Fi, some type of internet connection, and it's like without that, people are just even more screwed. We've been, managing since our phone service. We don't have our phone service because that was another thing we had to decide on. It was either paying our phone service or having groceries. And, we don't really have many people calling us besides like family, the few family that we are in contact with. So losing the phone wasn't 100%. Plus, there's a bunch of like free services that you can find and use, and we've been looking into that as well. 5 to 6K is high, but it's normal for me since I'm living in Cali right now. But I think the problem is your income is low. Maybe around 2 to 3K, I'm assuming. I mean, yeah, because even when I was having my previous job, we were just barely making rent. Like, we were able to cover the expenses, no problem. That's actually the thing. Like, with my previous pay and with, my brother, he had his full-time position, we were, like, bill-wise, that was fine. But then when it was time to come up with rent, we were sometimes a little short, so we would need, like, maybe an extra week, to pay it off. But, they were okay with that, and we, whenever they charged us a late fee, we, paid it with no problem. But at least that was like constant. I was getting paid every week for that. My brother was bi-weekly, and it's we were making it work. At least like bills were paid, like internet was never cut off, phones were up to date, light, electricity, water, sewer, everything else, like all the other utilities were like paid up, and then we just had to focus on like saving up for the rent. And then even at that point, we were still trying to find ways of bringing in extra money. That way we didn't have to wait like maybe an extra week to cover the missing balance of the rent we were missing on. But after I had lost my job, I immediately knew. I was like, we were already kind of like on the edge of paying everything. At least we had like utilities covers. It was more trying to find a way, so we could have that extra income for the rent. And losing that, I just knew it was not gonna end well, and sure enough, it didn't, because now we're in this situation. But me and my family, we are going to keep trying. We are not gonna let this stop us, and that's another thing I put in my letter, in my notice, that this is not going to stop me from doing what I enjoy, because one, I did so much like research and things to get this VTubing up and starting because I saw this as something I truly and thoroughly wanted to do. Like, I didn't grow up watching VTubers, but they were a big part of me kind of getting through COVID. I saw so many like VTubers and other streamers as well, even like non-VTubers, but there were so many. And even when when I moved here, there were so many that just, if I was having a bad day, I just turned them on and they would either be like playing a game with their friends or even just playing a game by themselves or maybe just reacting to something. Would always have me laughing to no end, cheering me up and lifting up my spirits. And it always looked like so much fun. And I was like, you know what? I want to do this too. I want to do VTubing. It sounds like so much fun. And, at that time I was already doing my podcast. So I was like, I could just incorporate that too to my VTubing. So, it took me months to get everything set up. I was doing research, I was watching videos. I was trying to also find a way to get my PC. When I knew I couldn't buy one outright, I was like, you know what, F it. I'm good at putting stuff together, I'll build it myself. Sure enough, built my PC by myself, bought all the parts, set it up, and never had, well, keeping it cool now is kind of more the issue, but never had any issues beforehand, and that's how I started. Like, truly and like thoroughly enjoyed this, and even from when I started, I've only been doing this for like pretty much almost a year at this point. Uh, may I advise you guys to a place, to a city, or you could get a job to focus on VTubing. What you need is sorting your situation out. Actually, no, and that's kind of the thing. That's one of the reasons why I wrote this notice. Is that until things get sorted, I unfortunately am going to have to put literally everything on pause, um, VTubing wise. So I won't be streaming anymore. I won't be making any kind of content. I won't even be able to do my podcast anymore because of us just trying to figure out the situation. Hopefully, we can find somewhere by like literally like in a month's time. Um, so that way we won't have to go live with someone if we could, or go Airbnb hopping again, or staying up in hotels again. Like, literally, we're doing everything we can to avoid that. So that is one of the reasons why, um, I put it in the doc, but I'll just say, literally at the last bit I took. I'm writing this to let everyone know my situation, my decision going forward. I will be canceling all streams that were set for this week and for the foreseeable future. Right now, I am going on a hiatus until my family and I can figure out what the next step is. I am not going to stop being a VTuber. It is something I have always wanted to do, and I've had so much fun the past year, making content, playing games, sharing my passion. This is not going to break me. I won't give up what I love doing because of outside forces. My family and I will make it through this. I may not be a super popular, famous streamer, but maybe one day I can maybe get close to that level. Until then, I just want to thank everyone who supported me so much and continue to support me. Please know this is not the end of Shana Sakura. I will be back better and stronger. Love you all, and until then, I hope everyone has a great day. She's just moving to either Cali or New Hampshire. Honestly, at this point, my family was kind of half joking, being like, we need to get out of the Florida. We need to get out of Florida. We need to go to a different state, somewhere that's cheaper, because clearly the amount, like what people are asking for here it's not it. And anywhere cheaper would just be some run-down place, probably in some bad neighborhood. So we don't know if that's going to be an option if we are going to possibly move state. But yeah, right now it's more trying to get everyone get a good rest, clear their minds, so we can focus on trying to get past this. It'll be hard, but good luck. No, thank you. But I just did want to let everyone know I didn't just want to just up and like disappear for however long this takes without you guys being like, hey, what's going on? Especially since I was kind of going to start I was gonna stream, the rest of this week, in between my scheduling. But I did want to like let everyone know, like, hey, due to pretty much family situation and life, I will be temporarily stopping all streaming, all content creating, all live streaming until we can get this sorted out and fixed and back up and running again. Because I did also want to give a shout out, because like I said, for someone who only started off over a year ago, well, almost a year ago, I'm now at 309 subscribers over on YouTube, which is still a crazy amount to me, and 66 follows over on Twitch. Like, honestly, I did not think I was ever going to get this many people even just like looking up the the content I was making. It's if anything, it's always motivated me to want to do better and make more of what's going on and what I'm doing and sharing my passion, and maybe that same passion is something everyone else watching me is enjoying. Me just talking about something I'm crazy about and just having fun with and enjoying. But yeah, right now it's more important of getting this situation sorted, getting us back on track. So we don't know how long that's going to take. I could be back up by next month. It could be months from now, maybe an entire year. I hope it doesn't get to that point, but if that is what we need to do to until we can get everything sorted, that's what we're going to have to do. Because right now, that is the most important thing. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with everyone, to let them know. And just like again to give out to the support of everyone who's helped, who has supported me, cheered me on, from my very first stream to now. But like I said in the last bit of paragraph I put in the Google Docs, this is not going to be the end of me. I am definitely and 100% coming back. I'm going to make this true. Or you could try an online shipping as well. It's just an idea, but it helps. That is something actually one of my family members was kind of talking about of getting into. So that could be something that we could do to help bring in some income. I think they like tried it once, but I guess the product they had wasn't really doing it. But I guess at this point I'm willing to try anything and anything to find, because literally it seems like trying to get these like jobs from places isn't working, because one, at this point it kind of seems like retail is dying, because I actually was just told that a bunch of stores, like a bunch of companies, are closing their stores. I heard that Macy's are closing a bunch of their stores, so there's actually a Macy in the mall I work. I heard that they're closing that down, possibly. There's a bunch of Victoria's Secrets are closing their stores, and because it's like mostly everything is like online now, so people feel like they don't need to be out and about to be shopping for the stuff they want, which I makes sense. So like I said, almost everything is online nowadays. Another thing is you could try with stock shares. This one needs a lot of studying. That I've heard that too. Actually, I do have someone, a family member, who she's been getting into it, and apparently it's been helping her. She's been making a lot of like extra money, so she says she's like setting stuff up on like kind of what she did, and is willing to like share like what she did to like a group of people, like pretty much family. Like start out with family, and like take it from there. But it will be fast if you can. Well, kind of. Sorry about that. Um, I just had someone come check up on me, you know, cause I could tell like the situation is really getting to. I was trying not to cry, but it's just this is such a fuck up situation, and it's really just us believing, having faith, and just trying to get through this, pretty much. So that's all I really wanted to say. You know, just let you guys know what's going on. And once we do kind of figure this all out, to you know, I'll be back, better than ever, continuing on what I love doing, and hopefully in a better place. I really was trying so hard not to cry. It's really just been a really horrible, like, here at this point. And yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. So, until things get sorted out, I won't be streaming. I will be going on hiatus. Like I said, if we could possibly figure something out by by the end of June, and who knows, maybe I could be back by July. If it takes longer than that, then it will take longer than that. But I definitely will keep you guys posted on, you know, when things settle down and I'm able to get back on streaming. So I will let you guys know that. But again, thank everyone so much for their support and everything, because, like I said, just try bio stock prices, it's rising. Good luck. Thank you. But yeah, let me go before I'm just crying on here for you guys. But I definitely will keep you guys posted on what's going on and when I can officially come back. But again, thank everyone so much, and I'll see y'all soon.